Hi, Deb Hoekstra here from the studios of Bee-Bug Creations, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a technique that allows you to create your own backgrounds to use in your paper crafting projects, be them cards or scrapbooking projects or whatever. I'm going to create my own background by using stamps and ink. So what I'm using today are two images from the Petal Potpourri stamp set. It's a new stamp set that can be found in the 2015 Occasions catalog from Stampin' Up! I chose two of the smaller images from that stamp set. You can do the same thing with a larger image, but for today's purposes I chose to use two smaller stamped images. The principles for creating a background are the same whether you're using small images or large images. And the color ink I'm using today is Old Olive ink. So let's get started. When you're creating a background, if you use more than one stamp, always use the largest stamp first. So if you're using a large flower stamp, that would be the first one that you would use. In this case, this flower image is my largest image. So I'm going to get started. And the best way to do a background is to start in the middle and work out. And as I'm stamping, I'll share the reason for that. And I never start right smack dab in the middle of my paper. I always start just a little bit off center, like so. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be filling this whole background with this stamped image. Now I'm going to work from the center out. I'm not going to want to go here and then here and then here and then here. I'm going to want to cluster those, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So I'm just going to kind of gradually, and I don't want to really have a pattern to it. So I'm just going to kind of gradually work my way out. And then when you get to the edge like that, make sure that you stamp off. It just makes it look a little bit more realistic. Now I don't want to go here. I want to go here. And then I want to go here. And the reason for that is, as you're working, if you stamp here and then stamp out in the middle and then go back into the stamp in between, sometimes you can't fit that stamped image in between the other stamped images, and it becomes quite a challenge. So you just kind of want to randomly stamp. Okay, now here I don't want to go here. I want to go back here to the middle and work my way out. Okay? Here again, I don't want to start here. I want to go right here. And then those two look kind of too perfect, so I'm going to put one right over there. And then here I'm going to go here. So as you can see, I'm working my way out to the outside. And then some of these areas here I'm going to go back and add just a few. So there we go, that's pretty well filled in. And so what I was talking about is, so there's kind of a wide gap between here. It would be really hard to go back and put this image in there without overlapping. So that's why you work from the center out, and then you can kind of gauge where your stamped image is going. Now this would be a great background image, but I am going to add this little flower center as well. So now, because I have the main area filled in with my largest background stamp, I can just go and randomly put some dots here where they're going to fit. And it really doesn't matter on these where they go. You just want to make sure to kind of have them spread out. Again, stamp off on the edge so it doesn't look like you just did a clean cut. Okay, whoops, I think maybe I'll put one more there. And that's it. There you have a background piece that you can use for your card projects, your scrapbooking projects, things like that. So if you had, for instance, if you had three images, let's say I started with a big flower image, I would put that on there, place that on there first, and I probably wouldn't need to do more than 2 or 3 if I were using a huge image. Then I would go and put my medium-sized image, and then I would go back and fill in with my little image. It's kind of like the concept of the bottle. I don't know if you've heard this before, but if you have a glass jar and you put in big rocks in that glass jar and you fill it to the top, it looks like there isn't any space. But if you go and put in some pebble-sized rocks, you can fit a few more in because they will go in between the spaces where the big rocks are. And it will make it look like the glass jar is full with those two kinds of rocks in it. But you can go back and dump some sand in, and the sand will fill in between the spaces of the big rocks and the pebbles and fill the jar. And that's kind of the concept behind stamping the background images. Start with your biggest one first, start in the center, a little bit off center, work your way out, and you'll have great success at creating your own background image. That's it. That's my technique for today. I thank you for taking the time to learn with me today, and we'll see you next time. Happy stamping!